guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to do my part one of my 2023 planner systems deep dive. And if you guys haven't seen that overview video of all the planners I'll be using next year, I'll link it up right over here and you guys can check that out after. But today, as you could tell from the title, I am going to be setting up and explaining exactly how I'm going to use my 2023 Hobonichi weeks. This is the light purple English version, which is kind of exciting. This is the first year that they had Hobonichi weeks in the English version, if you guys don't know. And so all the back pages and everything else is all in English, which is amazing. So I'll definitely be utilizing some of these pages and I'll explain how I will be doing those. Okay, so let's get right into it. So what I have on here right now is just the clear cover on cover. I will put it into like an actual leather cover after. Currently what I have is just this Moterm cream croc, and I'll link everything that I'm using down below if I can find them, of course. But yeah, so I thought these two look really cute together, but I do want to order one of their veg tans that I've been putting off forever, but I think I'm gonna get the honey one. So that is probably what I'll use in this when it comes in January, because I'm doing the pre-order. But anyway, so it's in the clear cover, and then what I have is just this little page flag holder thing that holds your cover closed. I think it's called a page holder or something, but I use it to close my cover, excuse me. So that looks kind of cute. So I think what I'll do first is kind of set up like, you know, the front cover area and what I'm going to do with it, as well as add in the tabs and all that stuff. And I'll explain that to you. But if you guys don't care about kind of this decorative part of it, then you guys can jump right here in the timestamp and go straight into kind of the system and exactly what I'm going to be doing on each of the different layouts. So maybe that will be the best way. Okay, so I have pulled out a few things that I knew that I wanted to use, and so I guess the easiest and the most obvious one first is these tabs, side tabs. And I do kind of like to have side tabs because it is easy to like jump month to month, especially now that I'm using a mega. Like I might be doing daily pages in the back, and I'll talk about that a bit more later in the video. But especially if I do daily bullet journaling type style, I do also want to separate those out so I can easily jump to there if I need to reference it. So what I'm going to be using is these ones, the Swatelier. Is that how it's pronounced? I have no idea. But I'm going to use the white ones, I think, you know, in the front for the actual like weekly pages, and then I'll use maybe the black in the back for the notes pages. So I'm gonna take those out and I will add these in. And this is really cute because it comes with two styles. So it has the white, you know, lettering here, like the actual months of the year, and in the white, and then they also have the black one and you get both of them, which is kind of nice. So I think I'm gonna use that. So that's just going to go on the sides, of course, and maybe I'll do that off camera or speed through it at the end to do it, and then so you guys don't have to wait through that whole thing. But that's what I'm going to use for the sides. And then this is something new that I started doing, or that I'm going to do this year, which is put a little bit of like a vision board at the front. And I'll talk about it in a separate video, but I'm usually like terrible with goals and I don't really goal plan, but I do kind of want to get into that this year. And so I just kind of created these vision boards because I'm definitely like more of a visual person. I love pictures and everything. So I just created these in Canva really easily. If you guys want a video on that, just let me know down below. But it's amazing because you could just, you know, create it in the Hobonichi week size and then print it out. So I printed out one on just regular paper and one on sticker paper. And it looks really good, and I'm deciding where to put it. But what I was thinking is that either I would put it here or maybe I'll put it in both spots. So I kind of liked it tucked in like that. Now the thing is, I didn't want to stick anything on this front cover because, I mean, not that I really think I'm going to be able to stick through this the whole year, but here's to me trying. I don't want to have like all these images and then like maybe it changes or I want to change it or I get bored of the cover, so I don't want to stick it here. But I printed it on the paper and I'm going to stick it here just so that it's kind of temporary. And it also allows me to not have to like come up with different, you know, planner journaling cards or whatever that I've done in the past and try to piece them together and make them stick. It's just easier to have it all printed like this. So I was thinking of doing that. And then the actual sticker one, what I thought I could do, and I saw Lindsay Scribbles do this, which is she put hers like a vision board like this back here in front of the notes pages. So I guess like, you know, the whole point is you want to see it as often as you can to remind you of kind of your goals and stuff. So maybe I would put one here too, and whenever I come to the notes pages, I could see it on this side. So I thought that would be really cute. So maybe I'll just tuck that in because as we get there, I will stick it in. I mean, I won't go through each of the pictures. You probably don't care what my goals are, but that's that. So I'll just keep that there for now. And I don't like to do like a lot of decorative stuff. If you guys have seen my channel, you guys know I'm more functional. So this is already a bit more than I normally would do, but it does like make you want to use your planner more when it looks nice, right? So I do want to do a little bit. So here in that little front pocket here, I just put in like a little calendar card. These are freebies from my Facebook group. So it's Mommy Plans is the Facebook group, or you guys can join the link. I think I have a link down below. And so I'll put that there because I do like the look of that. And then the other things that I'm going to tuck in here, I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm still missing something down here. But people haven't really come out with dashboards and stuff. You know how people usually like do a lot of dashboards, like the planner community was all about dashboards and a lot of people did freebies and there was a lot of new dashboards that people were selling. And I noticed that's like not many people are doing that as much. So I want to reserve this spot to see what else comes in the market before I decide what to throw there. But I think what I'll do up here, and I did this in my my current Hobonichi that I really liked, was I put this little clear card holder and then I put a photo there. So I think I'm going to do that. And again, these are from Amazon. I talked about it in my last Amazon haul. I'll link it here, my favorite like planner items from Amazon if you guys missed that video. But of course I'll link this down below as well. And I just love this because it's very sleek and you just peel it and stick it. So I think I'm going to stick that on here the same way. And just to make it centered, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these cards. This is a functional planner card, again also from my shop, and I just like that there because then I can make a list of like my shopping items, and if I'm like out and about or whatever and I want to look at the things that I needed to buy, it's just right there. And I just kind of like it printed on this brown crafty paper. I think I got this craft paper from Michael's. Again, I'll link everything down below. I'll stop saying it so that you guys can just check there. And I think I'm going to print a little photo here of the family at the front, and I'm going to use my HP Sprocket to do that, and I will show you that as well. Okay, so then I'm just going to take that off because I like that and hope that I do this straight. Okay. So there, I just lined it up against the little O's up there. I know some people like to do the washi and all that stuff, and I don't mind this back paper, so I don't cover it up. I don't do anything that's too permanent, I guess, except the sticker that's kind of permanent, but I know I liked it. That's why I'm going to keep that there. And yeah, so like I said, I'm going to leave this space a little bit open, some sort of like little, I don't know, a little card or something there. It might be cute, or a sticker or something. And the other thing I'm just going to tuck in at the front is this planner routine card, and this is a printable from my shop, and I just like this here just so I can easily pull it out. And again, it kind of covers all the back, you know, pictures that I just did, but whatever, it's not a big deal. I don't mind at all. Or I can even tuck it in the bottom if I kind of want to see the photos peeking through. You know what I should do? I should print this on craft paper and then put this and the back. That would look cute because then it would like kind of match. And yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. But what I might do is I might do the 2023 journaling cards in the craft paper because I don't want to reprint after the year is almost over. Okay, so I kind of like how that looks. Now I'm going to do the little photo here, and I'll just show you as well for those of you who might be interested. So what I do, okay, so I just open the Sprocket app and you just connect it via Bluetooth. And then I just go into my gallery of my recent photos. And of course, the HP Sprocket prints in both colored and black and white. I have black and white here, and I'm just trying to see which one I might prefer. So that's the black and white. And then if I do color, I kind of like the color. See how in the last one I did black and white and I really liked it, but I think maybe because this year I got a bit of color in the background here in this vision board, that the colored one might look kind of cute. So what I will do is just print the color one, I think, because I do like that. So you literally put in your photo. You can do some editing if you want. You can even add like a border on it. So if you go to the edit button down here, there's like different options. You can play with the settings here, like in terms of saturation and all that. I usually just do my editing like in a photo editor before I print. They have different filters. You can add text, borders, like a whole bunch of stuff. The HP Sprocket is really good. When you print on the photo paper, it is a bit expensive. That's why I use my thermal printer a lot more for memory planning, because it would cost a lot. But they have even like little stickers that you can add on. I usually don't do any of this stuff, but it's really, really cute. And yeah, like I said, you could do borders and everything to make it look like a Polaroid and all that kind of stuff. But I just do it like this. And then I will hit print. And then away it goes, and I'll put in an insert of it printing. Okay, so there it is printed out, and it's super cute. I really, really love it. The quality is amazing. I highly recommend the HP Sprocket for those of you guys who want like a little photo printer that's a bit better quality than those thermal printers. I do prefer to use this, and it is on sticker paper, but I don't like to stick it down to here because obviously like I'm just tucking it in here. But what I do is at the end of the year, if I've printed multiple like of these little stickers that I've used as decor, I will stick it into my journal at the end of the year, and it'll kind of, you know, remind me of my favorite photos of the year and kind of those really happy and precious memories, especially while my girls are young, and just to keep track of, you know, what my favorite times were, because I'm obviously printing some of my favorite photos. So I really like that, and I don't mind that it's sideways or whatever. In the past I have done vertical, but I'm honestly not that fussed. It's just something that brings me joy. And, you know, it's something that you'll look at often because it's the first page. So this is obviously family and whatnot is important to me. So I just put that there, and I think that looks pretty cute. And then I'll add a little something here to give it a bit more, I think. Thinking about this cloth and paper journaling card and maybe cutting it down or some sort of colored thing here. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do there, and then kind of let's get into talking about how I'm going to use each of the pages. So in this summary here, I think what I might do is, like, it's just too small for planning and all that kind of stuff. So what I might just track here is where I have like vacation already booked and planned, I might just highlight that here just so that I know, like, for example, you know, for YouTube or even for Etsy and stuff, I have to have things prepared ahead of time so that I can load my videos, for example, while I'm away. And I'll just put that here. Important dates, I don't know if I'm gonna really put anything here. The other thing I might do here is track how many posts I made for both, you know, Etsy, for Instagram, for YouTube, and I'll just like make a little dot posting when I'm actually done the posting, right? So I think that's all I'm going to do there. Then on this page, I thought I could use this for major achievements or stats. So I don't really track a lot of things. I'm just not a big tracker. I never go back to do it. So I figured there's no point doing that. So what I'm going to do is, and I'm not going to hold myself to like, you have to check the number every single week or whatever, because that's just like, you know, my whole thing with everything that I'm doing with Etsy and with YouTube and all of this is kind of for fun. So it would be nice to know some high level achievements like, oh, when I hit 1,000 subs on YouTube, it would have been nice to, you know, be able to go back and see when that happened. So I thought maybe I would just try to do that. So that's all I'm gonna do here. And then we go into the monthlies. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is for pre-planning, and again, this is kind of for work and social media, I guess I should call it. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to color code, and I've never done this in the past, but I think it will help because I am kind of using this planner for a few different things. So I'm going to primarily be using my Hobonichi Uni Jetstream because you know, this is a great pen for the Hobonichi paper. And I also have it in actually this white barrel that's really pretty. I'll link this down below as well. And so I have the 3 colors with it already. So then I can just have the one pen and do everything at once. I don't like to carry multiple pens. I just like to make it simple. So what I'm gonna do is like red will be for my corporate job, blue is gonna be for YouTube, and black is going to be for Etsy and social media and whatnot. And so I'm going to be like planning my YouTube videos. If there's any major deadlines for work, I will put it here. But for work, I mostly am like digital, you know, on Outlook and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really need to do too much around the work in here. So yeah, so that's going to be that. And I will do the pre-planning here. I might even want to move, I don't know, it's November right now and I can't believe it, but I am itching to like get started in this. So I had debated like drawing out a monthly layout, but we'll see. Okay, so then in the weeklies, so how I do this is the monthlies I do pre-planning in terms of when it's like more than a month out. So let me explain. Right now we're in November. Say that I was in this planner already. If there's something happening in November that, you know, is like 2 weeks away, I wouldn't write it in the November monthly. I would write it in the weekly. And that's how I've always pre-planned. Whenever it's in that month that I'm in, I do it in the weekly section, because once you're in that month, like you're kind of closer to that plan, right? And so typically you have a bit more details about the plan. And so you need a bit more space. So that's why I like to do it in the weeklies. Whereas when it's more than a month out, the plan is very high level typically, just because it's so far out, you don't have details. And that's when I'll go in and put it here. So if it was something that was in December, January, whatever, I would put it in the monthlies just because it's so far out. Okay. And then the one thing that I did note when I was trying to do the pre-planning of YouTube videos in here, in my 2022 weeks, is that I noticed like when I tried to plan it too far out, I'd have to scribble it out and cross it over and like move it all around. So I'm gonna figure out something new for that kind of planning. I'm still going to be doing it here, but I think what I'm going to do is put it on those teeny tiny Hobonichi page flags that fit perfectly in the weeks. Actually, I'll grab it and I'll show you. And then that way I can just move them around so that it doesn't get so messy, because there's not that much space. Like it does kind of get a bit too tricky to have it like that messy in the plans. So these are the flags that I'm talking about, and they fit perfectly into the little Hobonichi Week squares. So what I might just do, if I can get these out, so for example, just like put the video title here, and then I would put it like this, and then kind of move it around or whatever. So that's that. And okay, so what was I gonna take you to next? So that's the monthlies. And then, okay, so let's go to the weeklies. So, I mean, I've already kind of talked about how I am going to use the weeklies in terms of like when I'm in the month, I do pre-planning in the weeklies. But in terms of like how the actual layout will work, this is where I'm not 100% sure. And I've tried different layouts before, and none of them have like stuck 100%, so I'm not really set on any single one. But what I am planning to do, at least to start off, is so use this to see the little crop marks or whatever, not the crop marks, the little dents or whatever, to separate this into the 3 squares. And maybe I would assign 1 square to each. So for example, my corporate job, YouTube, and then Etsy, and then anything that goes on whatever category I will put under each of those. I think that's the plan. And then here, I think I'm just gonna do a running task list, and then as well as some notes. And again, I'm gonna be doing the color coding on these pages as well, so it'll be really easy to identify. It'll line up with the monthlies, and it'll be all good and dandy is what I'm hoping for. I did do a video on like how to use like different layouts for the Hobonichi weeks. If you're interested, I'll link it up here. I might revisit that and just see the different layouts that I played around with and maybe try to choose one of those. But that's the initial plan, I think, what makes the most sense for me. But I haven't been very good in the past about using this side, so I'm hoping that I'll be better at it this year. Okay, so then those are all the week's pages. And then here, I kind of told you how I'm going to do the vision board. So this is like after the weeks, obviously. You guys know already. But what I'm going to do is stick this in here. And I think actually I'm going to round the corners. So let me grab my corner rounder. So this I have not shown, but oh my gosh, I use this all the time. I should have included this in my Amazon video. It is an amazing little corner rounder, and so it has small, medium, large. I just use the medium, and I'll just show you here. It's a really popular corner rounder. That didn't do it as well as I had hoped. Oh, it's just because of the white line that's making it look skewy, but it's not. But yeah, it's a really popular one. I can't remember the name. Katamoru. Anyways, I'll link it down below because I cannot pronounce it. But it works great. And I use it in my half letter setup all the time just because it kind of really like finishes your printout or whatever and just makes it a bit more professional. So I don't know if it's just me, but I think it looks a bit more professional. So I think what I'm gonna do is I really like that, and I'm just gonna stick it in here. This sticker paper works really great with my inkjet printer, so I do recommend. And I haven't had any issues in the past. I tried making stickers with these as well. It works great, so no complaints, and it's relatively inexpensive. I'm just gonna try to put this in here. And you kind of saw it there, but what's great about this paper is that if you do make a mistake, it's not like that sticky material where it'll just like rip your whole page off and then you wanna like cry because you messed up your planner. It does really easily allow you to like lift it back up like you saw there and just re-stick it down. And look how cute that looks. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with that. So cute. You can tell like the quality of like the printout is really great on this paper. It's just like a matte, feels like regular paper. Love it. Love, love, love. Okay, so that then brings me down to the back pages. And I did tell you guys how I got a mega, and the reason why is because not only am I going to do a couple collection items, I'm not really that good with collections, from like a Bujo. When I talk about collections, I'm talking about like lists basically from the Bujo system. But what I'm going to use these for is kind of like daily bullet journal style. And the reason why I kind of wanted to do this is because I've been doing like a daily Bujo basically in my half letter disc. I talk about it again in that overview video, so go look there. So I know that kind of works for me. So I might try that in the back of this one. So here, the first thing, I just wrote a couple things that I'm going to add in my back pages. And like I said, I don't really refer to notes a lot, and a lot of referencey things I think I'm gonna try to put in my like digital, either my digital planner or like a different app like a Notion or whatever, something that's just like a bit easier to search. When I put in a list form, I don't know, like especially for work, if I happen to forget this one day at home, I don't want to be like, oh shoot, I don't have any of my lists. So I like to keep it more digital and just easily searchable, especially with work stuff. You need to quickly look it up. So a lot of the corporate job stuff will definitely be digital, but I might add a couple things for like my YouTube, social media, and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm thinking of doing first, and should I keep this on? I'll take this off. It was just to remind me. Is I'm definitely going to have an index. So I think I'm going to do an index page here just because if I want to do daily bullet journaling here, if there's certain things that I write in the daily that are important that I want to be able to reference back, I'm going to try to index it at the front. I've traditionally not been very good at indexing, so we'll see how it goes, but that's my thought. So that's going to be the first 2 pages. And then the first thing after the index is going to be my goals. Now, I'm not a big goals person in the past, but recently I've been listening to some podcasts and whatnot, and it's kind of explained goals and vision boards in more of like a scientific way, I guess. And that's kind of convinced me a little bit to maybe try to think about some goals. And maybe think of it as a big to-dos that I want to get done in the years, how I'm going to think of it. That objectivity and more of that scientific side of things just resonates with me a little bit more. So from this vision board, you can kind of already tell my high level goals is I kind of want to do a little bit more from the YouTube side. I'm realizing that I really enjoy it. And very recently I went on, kind of came on camera instead of just like these hand videos, and I kind of enjoyed it. I thought I'd be nervous about it, but I kind of liked it. So maybe trying to doing that a little bit more. And the other kind of big focus aside from just, fitness and healthy eating and just being healthy in general is this whole concept about time. I feel like I've had a bit of a 1/3 life crisis, I guess I would say. Like my mom passed away really suddenly earlier this year, and that was just a big rude awakening a little bit, just because I've never experienced a death like that's close to somebody close to me. So that gave me a little bit of a, oh my gosh, life is so short kind of moment. So I just wrote here is like, time is everything we have, and just to remember to, cherish each day. Sometimes, especially with young kids, you're like, oh my gosh, is this day over yet? Like, after a rough day at work, rough day with kids, you're just like, oh my gosh, can we like move on kind of thing. But just to remember, like, again, don't wish away all the days. Anyways, I won't get too much into that, but those are kind of the main goals, and I wanted a visual representation of that. And so here I'm going to kind of look at those high level goals and maybe translate into, well, what does that mean from like a monthly perspective, a weekly perspective, and a daily perspective? And my husband, who is also extremely like objective and analytical, I guess, had found this goal setting process where basically you talk about at a high level what's important to you, and then you drill down to what does that mean from a monthly, weekly, daily perspective. For him, he's like narrowed it down to even like from an hourly perspective, which I think is like way too detailed for me, but maybe we'll try to do that, and I'll drill down into the goals. And then one other list that I'm going to do, and it might be one of my only lists, I'm not sure, is that I might put in here kind of the shorter horizon of what I want to do, for example, on YouTube. So I'll have in my digital planner a list of, all the random ideas that I think of for YouTube or for my Etsy shop or whatever, but then obviously I'll narrow down to ones I'm actually going to be working on within that month, or, that I want to do in the short term. And I might put a list here of those just to track them instead of having to dig through and sort through the million ideas that I had on the digital side. So that's what I'm going to do there. And then after that, for me, I can't think of any other like lists that I want to put up front. And like I said, I haven't been like that good about keeping lists in the past. So I'm not going to force myself to do it. And what I'm just going to do is just do my daily logging. So I'm going to do literally just like the bullet journal style, use as much as I need to in a day and call it a day. And then if there's anything that I want to reference, like I mentioned, I will put it on the index page and then just reference it from the index page. then if I actually stick with this the entire year, which would literally be the biggest feat of my entire life, what I will do is then make lists for those items next year. Okay, so that's the plan for my notes pages. So I just wanted to show you one other thing I forgot to mention, which is I added these little titles using this stamp set that I really love, and I've shown before numerous times. They're really easy to use, and I just think that looks better than, say, that, where it's written out. So I like those for headers. And then let's just quickly hop to the back. So these pages are now in English, and I'm kind of excited about it. The only thing is, for example, I want to use this favorites page, and I want to use the My 100 page, I think. My favorite things is kind of fun, but definitely, and this 365 days checkoff sheet. So those are the ones that I really like and that I want to use. But for example, the one that I'm having the hardest time with, I think, is favorites, because this is like technically your favorites for like movies, books, music, restaurants, and all of that stuff. But because this is going to be my work planner, I don't know if I want to put like my favorites out of everything here, because it just like doesn't really make sense. So what I'm thinking I might do is maybe just like still related to like mommy plans and like the planning stuff, is maybe I'll put like, what was my favorite planner this year? What was my favorite inserts? What was my favorite covers? What was my favorite YouTuber to watch? What was my, I don't know, inspiration from like, before it was like the minimalist style. I feel like now we're getting out of that a little bit. It was like Traveler's Notebook. So maybe like the favorite trends or whatever that I had. And that's what I'm thinking of doing in the favorites area. But I'm not sure. That one was I'm not 100% sure. That's what I'm just thinking right now. And then in my 100s, this I don't know either. So a lot of these I feel like are more like lifestyle. So like if this was like my book for, just planning in general, it would be great, because then I could add, my 100 things that I want to accomplish, or my 100 top moments that I had. But yeah, so that I don't know. Maybe my goals or major milestones for the year. Give me some ideas on this if you guys are using Hobonichi Weeks for your work and what you're using the My 100 for. And then the My Favorite Things, again, this is like, I guess overall life, not necessarily just work, but I might just do it for the fun of it, because it already gives you the prompts of like what the favorite thing is supposed to be about, So I might just do it for fun. And then the checkoff sheet back here. This I was thinking of maybe I use it to do like a low spend, or like when I don't spend on stationery stuff in the month. Because or in the day, I guess, because I've been spending a lot this past year, and I slowly tapered off a little bit in the later half of the year, but I was like going ballistic at one point earlier this year, literally spending money every single day on some stationery stuff. So I might just check off like, when I have a low spend, and then also possibly checking off like social media posting or whatever was my other idea. The only thing is I don't want to have it in my mind that like I have to do a post, because I do want this to be for fun, so that's why I'm leaning towards more maybe low spend or something like that, because I do want this to be related to work. But if you guys have any other ideas, please let me know down below. So basically that's about it. And in the back, I haven't really added anything, and I usually don't, just because I don't see it that much and it gets tucked into like a cover, obviously. So yeah, so that's kind of it for my work setup. So let me know down below if you guys are using weeks for next year and how you be using your weeks, because I love getting more ideas. If you guys like this video, consider checking out this one where I talk about my 2023 overview of all the items that I'll be using and the various deep dives I'll be doing in the upcoming videos, as well as this video where I talk about all of my favorite Amazon planner supplies that I actually use every single day. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!